Hi everybody, we got a fun recipe tonight. We're going to do a family favorite and a classic, meatloaf. But this isn't just any meatloaf, this is Millie's meatloaf. Millie was my husband Vinny's mom. I never met her, but he loves her meatloaf and he convinced me to ask his sister for the recipe, which I did, and she gave me. So here it is. You can see it's a little old on a recipe card, and I'll go over the ingredients with you. So this calls for 1 cup of Pepperidge Farm stuffing. I think this is Millie's secret because I know this is awesome. Seasoned chicken flavor, regular like we use at Thanksgiving. And a cup of chicken broth. I use this. This is better than bouillon, but any variety if you want to do the box kind or what is that one? Oh, you know, the container or the can. Anything's fine. I like this because it has no MSG. So 1 cup of chicken broth, chopped mozzarella. I don't know, it doesn't say what kind she used, so I just used the bag Sargento mozzarella. I'm sure you could chop up Polio, the small brick, or whatever you like. Mozzarella, a 1/4 cup of ketchup, a 1/4 cup of mustard. Now it doesn't specify. I don't know if she used golden or not, but I use Dijon, which is a little bit stronger, and I confess I use a little bit less. So that's that. So a little bit less than a 1/4 cup of the mustard, some chopped onions, salt and pepper, and that's the ingredients. Now I'll assemble it and then show you the technique of how to cook it. Okay, so let's get the onions in first. Put those in. Okay. And my hands are already washed once and very clean. I'm gonna wash them again before I mix it. Oh. This has to go into here while we're mixing everything else. Mix that around. Let that stir it. Normally you would wait till it swells. I mean, I'm doing this quick, but you would wait and let it swell up a bit. It doesn't make a difference though because it's all going to blend together and taste delicious. I've made this recipe several times and I have to say it's one of my favorite meatloafs. I think she was onto something with this Pepperidge Farm stuffing because it's pre-seasoned, it's a good bread, it expands nice, and I think it's the reason the meatloaf stays moist. Now with that said, it's hysterical because I thought that I had this all to myself, this Pepperidge Farm stuffing secret. And then I went on to Pinterest and a few other videos and it was like, oh my God, it's everywhere. It's all over the internet. So I had to laugh to myself, but it's good. Millie's secret's out, but it's a good thing because it's delicious. And she was, you know, I mean, I'm sure she did this 30 years ago, you know, and they're doing it now, which is cool. Okay, so let that expand a little bit more. Put the ketchup in. And it wouldn't be normal for me if I didn't make any recipe my own, as I'm sure you do. We're going to add 1 or 2 spices that aren't in the recipe for Millie. I'm sure she'll be happy and wouldn't disagree. Okay, like I said, I changed it to Dijon. Okay, now let's get those breadcrumbs. See, they've absorbed all that. And see, they're expanding. I think this is the secret to the moisture of how it stays. It's so tender. Sometimes I've made it, I don't know what I've done, maybe put too much broth, but it's so succulent. It just like falls on the fork, tender, juicy. And I don't like a dry meatloaf. I'm sure nobody does. Okay, I put that in there. Okay. Now, the mozzarella, put that in. Okay. Here's all the ingredients. Here's the salt, a little bit, not much, because you're going to add as people cut it and eat it, so I'm not a big fan of putting a lot in the recipe. Pepper. Okay, and here are my 2 secret signature Janine ingredients. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder, maybe a lot, you know, flavor that up. And my infamous Italian seasoning, because I love this. I'm going to do 2 pinches, 1 and 2. It is an Italian meatloaf after all. Let me just rinse my hands quick. Nowadays you have to do 20 seconds. Okay. All right. Here come my meatloaf surgical hands. Okay. Mix this in. Well, it's kind of cool because, you know, breadcrumbs, if you have them, you could probably substitute this. Everybody knows meatloaf's made with all the breadcrumbs or leftover bread and everything. What I like about this is I buy several boxes of the stuffing, and I always have it in the pantry now because of this meatloaf. And it's also a great side dish just to have around, so it's kind of cool. No eggs. If you notice, there's no eggs in this, which is good because I've wanted to make meatloaf several times with other recipes and didn't have eggs, ran out, or I didn't have breadcrumbs. The one thing that I gotta say, which is a key ingredient, and hopefully you always have it, is the mozzarella. That's another tasteful part of this. It just goes so well in here. All right, I don't think I want to over mix it. Now, I take this big beauty. I'm gonna mold it in the pan. Let's see if we can get it out into a pan. Okay, I got my oven preheating at 400 degrees. It has to be 400. Okay, now I'm gonna take her and mold it. Quick, TV magic, get into shape. Millie's Meatloaf. And she didn't specify any topping or ketchup on the top or anything. You could if you wanted to. I've done it, you know, I've done it. I've added mozzarella onto the top while it's baking. I just want to make it. I'm a perfectionist with this meatloaf. I'm a little bit crazy, so please forgive me. I have to have it shaped the way I pre-think of how I'm going to slice it, and I want it perfect because I do make sandwiches from leftover meatloaf, so I like those slices pretty uniform. That's why I'm going to the extra minute to do this. Okay, have you had enough of me? Okay, let me rinse my hands. The other thing that is going to be added is a little bit of water around it, and then we're going to bake it for 1 hour at 400 degrees. So let me rinse my hands. Give a little water. I think the recipe says like an inch of water. I don't know. We'll see. Just enough around the bottom. I think it's just so that it steams and doesn't burn out too soon. But there you go. It's like a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan. And now we're going to put it in a preheated 400-degree oven and let Millie's magic happen. This is good stuff. All right, Millie, do your thing. When we come back, we should have a beautiful Millie's Meatloaf. Okay. It's been a little bit more than an hour. And here she is. Oh, Millie, hello. Okay. Now, I'm going to cut her up and plate it because we're starving here. And like I said in the behind the scenes, this is our dinner. Our actual dinner. So let me see. I have, I think I should do the big one. All right, let's see. But let it sit a second and cool it down. And I have our mashed potatoes here. Beautiful gold potatoes with cream and butter. And some fresh spinach. And we have iceberg and tomato over here. Okay, let me get a fork. Okay, let me get this fork. I'm going to plate it and then we'll see if Vinny approves of his mama's meatloaf. Let me cut a piece here and see. Millie, our little dog, as you can see, is named after Vinny's mom. She's waiting patiently. Oh, let me see if you can see that. Delish. I see little bits of mozzarella in there. Okay. Let's give Vinny a nice piece. Give Vinny a nice piece. Ideally, I should have let it wait a little bit to set a little better. The only thing that's going to happen is it's going to fall apart that much easier. But no worries, because we're hungry. We don't care. Okay, see that? Perfect slice. Okay. Oh, I lost a piece. Look at your back. You can see how tender and moist it is. If I move it, it's like falling apart here. It's just barely holding its shape, and that's a good thing because that means it's juicy, moist, and tender. No dry meatloaf here. Thank you, Millie. Okay, I'm gonna put some potatoes for him. Okay. Oh my god, still got a little bit of spinach. We have to split this little portion between us, and we both fight for our veggies. Alright, we get you a fork, and then Vinny's going to give us a taste test, a thumbs up. We're going to put him over here, and then he's going to come around. We're going to switch the camera. And Vinny is going to give you a taste test and see if he approves.
All right, here we go.
See if it's as good as your mom's.
It's Millie's
meatloaf.
Great.
Is it
like
good?
Millie.
Is it moist?
Yummy.
Tender? Okay, can
Good
we get
job,
do we get a thumbs up?
Yes.
Thank
you did
you.
good, Bob.
Okay.